Come on, boys, come on. That's a baseball game. That's a win. That's a victory. That's how you do it. The Phillies win 2 games in a row now. They come from behind. They win 7-5. They're 41-38. And the most important thing, their bamboo streak stays alive. Brad Miller's bamboo streak continues. What a victory out of the Phillies tonight. And they hung around there early. They hung around. And the way I can compare this is to basketball. When you're playing basketball, let's just use an example. Say the Sixers are playing the Bucks, right? And the Sixers are down throughout the first 3 quarters of this game, but they're in that 6-7 point range throughout the entire game. And somewhere down the line, late third quarter, they find a way to push through. They take a 2-point lead, and from there they run with it. That's how the Phillies game felt today. Throughout the first 4 innings, they're down. Through the first 6 innings, they're down. 3 runs. We score runs here and there to make it closer, but it felt like we were hanging in, and all we needed to do was get over the hump, and we finally did get over the hump. So let's dissect how this bad boy went out. Overall, we will talk about Jake Arrieta at the end, but he struggled in my opinion, and I hated what I saw out of Jake Arrieta. But we go down early in the first inning. We're down 2-0 just like that. Scott Kingery responds in the bottom of the first with a solo shot, and this kid is just something else. I have no words to describe what Scott Kingery has done for this ball club so far this season. It's like his twin, his evil twin who sucked at baseball, played last year. Night and day. Night and day. We're down 4-1 at one point. Rhys Hoskins hits a solo shot, a moonshot, and over the last 3 games, he's been hitting the ball out of the ballpark. We're down 5-2, though, in the 6th. And the 6th inning was so special and so unique, and it was the difference maker in this game. It starts off with Bryce Harper walking. Oh, we don't pay him all this money to walk. We didn't pay him $330 to walk. You're right, but that walk changed the game. That walk changed that inning, started that inning, and it was a difference maker in the ball game, and that inning was the reason why we won this damn game. So that walk was huge. JT ends up doubling. We have 2nd and 3rd, and Jay Bruce knocks in a run with an RBI ground out. So it's 5-3 at this point with 2 outs. Cesar Hernandez hustles his ass off out of the batter's box, and he makes a nice play and gets an infield single. So what do you know? 5-4. Maikel Franco, with Cesar on first base, hits a bomb to center field, 2nd night in a row. The Phillies take a 6-5 lead, but Brad Miller comes up and goes back-to-back with a solo shot of his own, 7-5. Bamboo, bamboo, that's what we're talking about. The craziness of the inning is not over yet, though, because Scott Kingery gets beamed. So intentional. I mean, come on. You let up back-to-back dingers. You lose the lead. Your pitching coach is 85 years old, so he's very old school. They beamed Scott Kingery up in the shoulder on purpose, and Joe West starts pointing out, saying, hey, listen, we're giving both sides warnings. Gabe Kapler didn't like that. Gabe Kapler walked out. What are you saying? And Joe West gives him one of these. Kicks him out of the game for taking 2 steps out of the dugout. And it's so ridiculous. I mean, way too quick on the trigger. Gabe comes out, gets all fired up, and drops some F-bombs in there. Says it's atrocious. Couldn't believe it. He gets tossed out of the game again. And, this one I wouldn't say he went out there with the intention to get kicked out of the game. I think he was a little surprised, like, Joe West, are you seriously giving us a warning? We need to get at least some revenge. We need at least an opportunity to get revenge, because that was clear as day intentional. And Joe West didn't have it. But Gabe, listen, I love the fire. I love the new Gabe. It's getting the crowd going. Although the crowd was more booing at Joe West than they were giving a standing O for Gabe Kapler for getting kicked out of the game again. But you got to appreciate it. You got to appreciate this guy going out there and standing up for Scott Kingery, once again, of all people. It was just a crazy 6th inning, and it was the momentum turning point for this baseball game, and it was what made us win, was that inning, that 5-run inning out of the Phillies. And for someone like Maikel Franco to come up again and come up big after everything he's been through, all the downs, really the downs, the downs, the really bad downs. He's been special over the last 2 games, and if he can play like this, I'm telling you, it changes the entire lineup. It changes the pop throughout the entire lineup. He can be a big spark plug with the offense getting going as we score 7 runs again tonight. We scored 13 last night, 7 tonight. The problem we've been screaming for, well, there's a bunch of different problems, starting pitching and things like that, I know, but everyone's been saying this offense is supposed to be elite. We were supposed to win because of the offense. Well, Maikel Franco adds to that, and if he can play like this, it's going to change the depth and how pitchers are going to have to approach us. So Jake Arrieta goes 6 innings, allows 9 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks, 85 pitches. In my opinion, he just stunk. He allowed way too many homers, way too many hits. Jake Arrieta was not good enough for me. And I know overall you can look at it and say, well, he went 6 innings, he went deep-ish, he went deeper than you probably would have expected him to when watching the game, and his pitch count was still kind of low. I'm sorry, way too many hits, way too many home runs, and his command was so bad today, he couldn't execute pitches whatsoever. Jake Arrieta was bad today, and there's just no denying it. He got a lot of help from the bullpen. Now, our bullpen grinded. It wasn't easy situations for the bullpen, but you had Adam Morgan come in and battle through some adversity and get a nice outing in there, especially after the last outing that he had. I love that out of Adam Morgan to respond to the adversity. Juan Nicasio got thrown in an 8th situation. He went two-thirds of an inning. He battled and grinded. Hector Neris came in for a 4-out save and came up big. There was some respectful noise on the bases, though. They had their chances. The Mets had their chances in the 8th, in the 7th, in the 9th. They did. They had guys on, but we were able to shut the door, and that's what's special. We faced some big-time players there. In the 8th inning, McNeil, he was up to bat. He made some noise. He had 4 hits total today. And in the 9th, we had to get through Robinson Cano, who ended up getting a double, Conforto, Todd Frazier, Wilson Ramos, who we know can smack the ball out of the ballpark, especially this ballpark right now. Anyone can, it seems. So we had to go through some tough players there who can hit the baseball, and we won the battles. And Hector Neris right now with his fastball is awesome. We all know what he can do with his second pitch, and, well, you can argue maybe it's his first pitch with that splitter, but he is using his fastball more, which changes everything with the hitters because they have to respect it, and the splitter comes, and he's been doing a tremendous job all season long. I'm very proud of Hector Neris to come in and get a 4-out save in a high-pressure situation with having men on. Awesome. Just awesome. Now we have a chance with Nick Pivetta on the mound tomorrow to win the first 3. And that would be something really special. That would be something we need. We need to keep going. We need to get going. I'm very proud of this baseball club because it's not easy. When things are down, when things are not the greatest, and when you're in the slump that the Phillies were in, and then you start a baseball game, you're down 2-0, you're down 3 runs in the early parts of this game, it's not easy to come together and say, all right, fellas, let's go. We can make this happen. We just got to believe in ourselves. We just have to stay true to ourselves. It's not easy to do that because you've seen everything over the last month just drop. But they figured it out. They figured a way to come together. They figured a way to not give up. Battle. Keep going. Keep chugging along. Keep hitting the ball. Keep throwing haymakers if you're going to use a boxing analogy. Get in the ring and throw some haymakers. Don't give up. Awesome. Just awesome. We did have a couple errors that I didn't love. One was Jake Arrieta with a pickoff move that got by Rhys Hoskins and they started running the bases. JT Realmuto actually had an error as well, trying to gun someone out at second base on a steal, and they advanced over to third in that situation too. And, a couple little sloppy plays there, but we were able to overcome it. And that's what matters. Guess what matters? Getting the W. What matters? 41-38. That's what matters. Right now, I can't worry about other teams. Normally, I look at the standings, and I still do, even though I say I can't. I still do, but I'm worried about the Phillies right now. I'm worried about us getting out of our slump, because without that, the other things don't matter. So, obviously I look at what the Braves do, but I'm not as dialed in. The Braves are going to do what they're going to do. And I know we're going to battle for other teams with the wild card. There is enough baseball left, obviously, to take a look at the standings as it goes on and see where this team falls. But as for right now, there's one thing that's important to me, and that's this baseball club getting back on the right page. This baseball club winning games. This baseball club finding ways to get back into their atmosphere where they're comfortable and they're winning games. Good come from behind win. Great come from behind win. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. See you next time.